Hey guys, welcome to the LonelyFans podcast. And this week's going to be a little different. As you can see, my esteemed colleagues here are showing their handsome faces. I figured out the camera adds 10 pounds, so I choose not to put my face on there right now. So as you can see, we got a fun guy and Albie with his sick collection in the back. And this week we're going to go over the box office smash hit Mystery Men. I don't know if it was a box office hit. We can always find that out. But what I didn't realize was this movie came out in '99. I thought this was released early 2000s.
Oh, 90.
Let's see. So,
just for the audience, I'll be hopping on and off camera. So if you see me hop off, I didn't leave. I'm here.
I don't have much to do, so I'll
you'll be there. Where is the box office? Here we go.
Like, for instance, I'll hop off now and then hop back on. Oh, nice. Look at this. This is dope.
Wow. What did it gross? Only. Damn, it lost money, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, which brings us to why we're talking about it today. Okay. So on a 33, so it made 33 million on a $68 million budget. Wow. Okay, that brings us to our topic. Was it ahead of its time? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. It was very much. I feel like it was a little bit ahead of its time. It definitely, and like hearing best way. So when I first saw it, like the satire probably went over my head, to tell you the truth. Like I saw when I was in middle school, and the satire part went over my head. What was entertaining for me was this true underdog story, because that's how I felt when watching it. It was like a true underdog story. A bunch of nobodies, wannabes, putting on random clothing together, calling them superhero costumes, but they want to fight crime. And then, so yeah, it was like a true underdog story for me. I think the satire I didn't understand as I watched it more as I was older, and I was like, oh, okay, like I'm starting to understand the satirical humor for it. Trying to think of an example.
No, I so that's the first thing I noticed in the first scene when like Artie Lang crashes the old folks party. There's like there's so many like satirical moments, like when they hit I think it was like the mixer and it falls in the bedpan, and it's little stuff like that. I thought it was pretty funny, but yeah, it launched Artie Lang's career, so it was pretty.
I didn't even recognize that was Artie Lang behind those red goggles. I call the red eyes.
I did. I heard his voice. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Guess who else is in there?
Greg Kinnear. We'll get to that later.
Tryouts.
Okay. Dane Cook.
Tryouts.
Waffle.
Yep. Waffle Man. Waffle Maker.
He
with a George Foreman grill, actually.
Was that?
I think it was a George Foreman grill or a George Foreman waffle maker. Maybe it was. It looked like it. It looked like a broken George Foreman grill.
I like
his shirt had waffle prints.
I'll tell you, that went over my head.
His costume was actually inventive.
You didn't notice it was Dane Cook?
Not the first time around, because I don't think Dane Cook was in '99. Was he famous in '99?
Super big yet.
He wasn't super big yet.
No.
Yeah, and I definitely didn't really know a lot of stand-up comics in middle school. I wasn't really paying attention to that.
That's okay. You're a humor bro.
Yeah.
So I never saw the movie until recently, and I noticed Dane Cook from the music video of Smash Mouth, because before that music video, or before that song was famous for Shrek, I think it was used as a soundtrack for this movie.
I think it exactly was. Like the music video makes reference to the movie, because I think the lead singer of Smash Mouth, he lifts a bus, and they make reference.
Yeah,
because that was the legend of Mr. Furious, is that he lifted a whole bus.
Mr. Furious.
So he lift the bus. Ow! He lift the bus. Was that something he ever will do again? References.
Oh yeah, we should. So Dave hasn't seen, or a fun guy hasn't seen the whole movie yet.
Oh, you haven't seen the whole movie?
Wait,
He's
we
okay with
I did
spoilers,
not finish it. My rewatch. The rewatch I did not finish today. My homework
you
was
saw
not
the whole
complete.
thing
I had
once.
56 minutes left. Yes, I have not seen them more than 2 times in my life. Hey now, I'm still an all-star.
Get your game on.
I did that. It was corny. Yes.
That should be another podcast. That song's been used in so many movies.
Yeah, I remember that. It was using Shrek. It was using Rat Race.
I'm so glad you know it was Rat Race I was referring to.
That's the other thing that came into my head. When I first saw it, I thought Smash Mouth was a real quality song. But in the end, it was just super catchy.
Yep.
What are you talking about, man? Look at that guy.
He's an all-star.
Is that no? That's not Uncle Cracker, right? That's somebody else.
Okay, I think people have made that. People kept thinking that, but no, those are two different people.
Definitely the voice of the word generation.
So good.
No, what's funny is when I because you were talking about you were in middle school and this came out. I think it was I think I was going in 5th grade, but I only remember the commercial, and the only thing that always stuck out to me was when Hank Azaria was
Look at my camera
with his fork.
Remember, guys, all that glitters. Had to do it. It was relevant.
So Hank Azaria stood out,
yeah, because he's I remember it was in the commercial. I just see him with his fork scraping it across the car.
Oh, that's true. Actually, that
had to have been fun to do.
They were just randomly and what's funny is that it didn't really lead to anything yet. They felt like that was a victory for them.
Oh, okay. So you want to talk about that scene when they just destroyed the limousine?
Yeah.
I did see it. Yeah.
I mean, even though. Okay, my bad. No, I mean, even though you didn't think it was successful, I thought it was funny, but I feel like they all contributed. Except for Mr. Furious, because I was he's not even doing anything.
Mr. Furious did the most.
But that was the point of it.
Yes.
Next to Invisible Boy, he didn't really showcase his powers until the very end.
Right. Correct. And you always see him strike out with the diner waitress.
And maybe that's why in middle school I related to him the most. I'm like, oh, I get it. I kind of wish my rage was a superpower. All the times you pull something like that, you really wish, if only my rage could, become to good use.
If only you were the Hulk.
Instead, the rage was just useless for me to just cry to sleep most of the time. I'm kidding.
You didn't. He is kidding, guys. He is kidding. Mr. Furious is a low-level Hulk. Isn't that great? That's what they are alluding to.
So he's Professor Hulk.
Yeah, but at least Bruce Banner was smart.
What are you talking about? He was smart too.
No, he was super sarcastic. Okay, he was smart because he was the only one that knew that Lance Hunt was Captain Amazing.
Oh yeah, because
which was completely obvious.
William H. Macy's character was "There's no way."
The shoveler.
Yeah, the shoveler.
Look, and I like how they make the joke. Lance Hunt wears glasses. Captain Amazing doesn't. End of argument.
Yeah. If he didn't wear his glasses, he'd be blind. I would just shake my head at the table. Superman reference. DC Comics gets away with a lot of dumb stuff. A lot.
Yeah.
But this wasn't based off any comics, right? This was just a straight up.
It was based off of some sort of a graphic novel, but I think they're completely different. They did a lot of different things.
Really?
I think instead of Captain Amazing, some sort of a carrot-shaped hero.
So would you say this was kind of like The Boys in some way?
No, because the
Very
boys
good
is
reference,
supposed to.
my guy.
Oh yeah, it's a very good reference. But the boys is supposed to like tear your soul, like make you like almost lose
Correct.
faith in humanity because the heroes you love are one
Yes.
backed by a corporation and two, in their core they're not really good people. Well, almost none of them are good people.
Correct.
Not even Homelander.
The supers. None of them were good people.
Homelander is what Captain Amazing is, only much worse, only very sadistic.
Yes.
You know, Homelander does some of the most despicable things ever, while Captain Amazing, you know,
Yes.
clearly he cuts corners. Clearly he thinks more about his sponsors than actually saving people. Hence, he released Casanova, so he can have a better villain to fight, and his popularity will rise. But
It makes you wonder though, because I mean, one of the things we wanted to talk about was like, was it before its time? I think it was.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, because I feel like in modern times, I feel like that would be something like a hero would do now. It's like, well, we pretty much saved everyone. Let's just release another bad guy so I can get a story out of this and more endorsements.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, during that time,
Booster Gold, sort of, but not really.
I see what you're talking about.
Booster
I know
Gold-ish, I guess.
I understand that reference. Yeah, they do have a Booster Gold look to it.
Look at that suit, man. It's got a Rayo back there.
Sponsors, yo. Sponsors.
I like how he got upset when he found.
What's funny is
Pepsi
sponsorship, and he was like, "Really?"
Pepsi Japanese logo.
Yeah. That's what it was. Yeah.
Isn't he already a trillionaire? He already has all this money, and he's pissed off he doesn't have sponsors. Like, come on.
Dude,
maybe that's how I got rich. Then I have to look at the story though.
Maybe that's the other thing, that he dies in the movie. That like the Mystery Men, they kill him. I think that's kind of a humor that's before its time, because
yeah,
like, I don't think people back then were like, ha 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 ha, our protagonist killed the superhero, ha 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 ha, it was an accident. But and I think even then, I don't think I even laughed the first time around. I think it was more like, oh, poor guys. Well, don't worry, it wasn't your fault.
Well, even though he was like, he's an asshole, it's like I kind of felt bad when he did hit the switch and he like melted. I was like, what the fuck? He's dead?
Yeah, but watching it now, it's funny because he's also losing his shit. Like, he's like losing his shit to the bowler, and she goes like, "No, you do not talk to me like that." Then, wait, can we like rewind back? Is there a reset button? Okay, can we start the directions again?
I will finish it tonight. I have 56 minutes left for my second rewatch.
No, definitely. It's
what did he use? Like flip the switch twice and flip it back again. Then flip it twice.
Wait, you mean flip it again? We already flipped it. Yeah, like it was. And then of course it was like the Blue Raja was, like, trying to like be in his good side, so he go ahead and flip the switch, and then it like.
So I'm happy I kind of thought now, like when I'm older instead of when I was young, because I know if I probably would have had the same impression as you, where I would have been like, I wouldn't have got like the satirical humor and like the little, so you know what I mean, this little humor in there.
Yeah.
Whereas now I'm like, oh, okay, that's pretty funny.
But I think I heard even for the cast, they were not so sure what the tone of the movie was supposed to be. I think Azaria said in an interview, like there was a lot of arguments. So what's the tone of this movie? Like they're probably like, is this supposed to be funny? Is it a comedy? Is this supposed to be dark? So maybe even then it was like people weren't so sure how to do a satire like this.
Mm-hmm.
Which is to the point, like it was ahead of its time.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways. I mean, do you guys think it would be successful now if it were to release?
If it were the right director, yeah.
With the right director, maybe an update in choreography. Well, here's one reason why I think it might still be a bit of a challenge. Like I think the only movie I can think of that it's like close to kind of the tone of Mystery Man is the Green Seth Rogen's The Green Hornet.
Okay, yeah.
I need to watch that, guys. Need to watch that.
So I mean, I might be in the minority here, but I thought it was like a lot better than people give it credit to be. I mean, it's not without its flaws, of course, but I was like, entertained. The idea that Seth Rogen, even though he worked out a lot to slim down a bit, he still wasn't like convincible as a hero at all. But I think the movie was trying to go with that, Kato was more of like the hero because he had the martial arts skills, he had the technical skills, building all the gadgets and stuff. While
so he had all the characters of the actual hero himself.
Seth Rogen's character was just a big idea man and stuff, and the one with the money, because he inherited a lot of money from his rich dad. So it's kind of like if it felt like if Batman, if Bruce Wayne, after his parents died, it's like he goes like, all right, I will use my money to protect the world, but I'm not going to do the hard stuff. I'll just give the money and someone else could.
Is that what he does here? Is that why he hires him?
Because so I don't know how it worked in the original Green Hornet, but there, Kato was his father's kind of his, I don't know if not his butler, but he was kind of like his security specialist and his auto mechanic. So they really showcased the crap out of the Black Beauty. Quite fun, and when they use the Black Beauty, the car, it's like a lot of fun. Probably
guns on it, yeah,
probably a lot more fun than any Fast and the Furious movie I've ever seen. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe because they're more self-aware of how ridiculous some of the things that they're doing. But I think it's like Mystery Men because again, it's like these are underdogs. Seth Rogen is not your typical superhero, and they're going against very I wouldn't even say intimidating villains, very kooky villains. Christoph Waltz plays Bludnovsky, who's what I like they're doing. He's like this ultimate gangster, ultimate mob boss, but he's going through a midlife crisis as well. So he's trying to figure out, am I still scary in these different times and all that, and So
I haven't saved it. I should probably check this out. Have you seen this yet, Broja?
Wait, question. No, but I'm going to. I still remember the trailer. Also, the Green Hornet was supposedly a thief in the show, or was he a thief in the movie?
A what?
Because remember because Green Hornet, the original TV show, was famous before Batman and Robin came out on TV. And they met up and stuff. I thought the Green Hornet was a anti-hero. Batman's a vigilante, but I thought the Green Hornet was a thief. I thought.
They do kind of address him where he's not necessarily an anti-hero, but he's trying to, at least what trying to make it look like, it's trying to make Green Hornet seem like an anti-hero, but really he's just posing as an anti-hero, so they can get on the inside of all the villains and whatnot. So in the public eye, the Green Hornet is a bad guy, but really they're just infiltrating other bad guys. So I'll admit maybe they could do a bit more with that in the movie, but they do address that quite a bit. And actually, that's where Cameron Diaz's character came in. And I liked how they used her. She wasn't there as spoiler. She's not there for anyone's romantic interest. No one in this movie gets the girl. Which
really,
she just gets hired as a secretary because of her knowledge on mob mentality. So she can mob and mafia mentality. So she's pretty much their consultant. All right, what would a mafia person do at this rate, or what do you look for when you're trying to predict a mafia's next move? So I think they utilize her a lot better than maybe people would give credit for. So
that's shocking that there's no love interest or storyline in the superhero.
Clear that they're both into both him and Britt Reed and Kato, they fight for her, but in the end she goes I'm not into either of you, but
I'm very happy there's a love interest that ends up dating somebody though.
I don't know what would happen if they did a sequel. I mean, maybe, but that's the thing. It didn't get enough attention to get a sequel, and I would have very much liked the sequel.
Can you answer this? Is Edward Furlong in this movie?
Oh, he's in it for a short minute. He doesn't. Yeah, it's like you won't even recognize it's Edward Furlong.
Holy shit! I guess when you're living off Terminator money, why still make movies? Oh, Hank Azaria was in this too.
I don't think so. I don't.
No,
at least I don't remember him in that movie.
See, he knew what was up, man. He's part of the Green Men, and he's the Green.
He probably went like, "Yeah, look, guys. Hopefully you get more attention than me," and then of course it didn't.
Thanks, Dave. He's posting the vid pic. Yes, that's all three of us. So I wanted to ask though, we were talking about like would it work modern time? The only thing I think might have some controversy or maybe some because the Blue Raja I feel like might be in today's time. Like I enjoyed his character in the movie though.
Yeah.
I feel like he might have been. I think it would be a different type of actor.
Controversial.
Yeah, that's the word. What do you think?
Yeah, that's because Hank Azaria was really good in that. Like,
yeah, sorry, not there, but like when they went to his storyline and his mom walked in, I didn't expect him to have like just a normal like dude accent.
That she's like, Mom.
Yeah, come on,
it's incense.
Yeah,
Mom.
he did.
But yeah, I thought it was touching. And then she, when he confesses to her, she goes like, "Do you need more forks?" And she gives him like the fanciest like forks ever. Saying, "I was gonna save this for your wedding day, but I don't look." It's gonna be wow. But
the hell out of those fucking utensils, though.
Yeah. Bust out the fine china. I'm gonna throw it.
Yeah.
He threw a spoon, I think, in the beginning, didn't he?
Yeah. And he threw a fork.
Just bounced off and do anything.
Yeah, William H. Macy's ass. That was like funny too.
But I think he played it. I think he played it pretty well. I can understand though, like now, why people wouldn't agree with that, but I think he did pretty good as the Blue Raja.
Poor Hank Azaria though, like there's that and a poo, like he.
Yeah.
Which I understand there is controversy, but I do feel like Hank Azaria gives a crap about his character, so he does try to put like depth into it. Which
like he's done for like 30 years on The Simpsons.
Yeah, true. But yeah, you're right. And today maybe.
Oh, poo.
But at the same time, it would be funny to see someone of Indian descent play the Blue Raja. Like imagine Danny Pudi from Community. Imagine him like playing this character. That
we should
entertaining to see.
We should make like a fan cast and like start casting people like modern day mystery men.
True.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I'm down.
Release the mystery men cut.
I feel like someone like Bradley Cooper should be Captain Amazing. Like,
because he could play an asshole, yeah.
Especially like short hair Bradley Cooper. So we're talking like.
Oh, from Wedding Crashers. Let's find
from Wedding Crashers. So imagine him playing like Captain Amazing. Yeah, that'd be funny.
I've rewatched that movie a lot.
Crab cakes and football. You know whose character I was actually surprised because I remember back then I was like, oh, it's kind of lame. I like the spleen actually when I saw his character.
Well, I mean, it's a good character. It's technically a superpower, right?
He talks like this. He's like, wait a minute, you guys.
It's also Pee Wee Herman.
That's right.
Paul fucking Rubens.
Dude, when like this beginning scene when he like aims his ass to the people and like just knocks them all out.
And but he was like testing like the wind speed and all that. And, like,
yes, he was. Ratio, wind speed.
That was amusing. I thought it was funny.
Air conditioning.
Yes, that's true. Oh my god. I thought it was funny he was hitting on the bowler, Janine Garofalo, and then before he can even say anything, she just goes like, "There's not enough beer in the world, buddy."
Oh yeah, that's right. When they're at the bar after they smash.
She apologized. She goes, "Yeah, the car." He starts making cat calls and smack noises. He's like, "Oh, like what are you doing, dude?"
Do you remember like how he walked over to
Sorry,
her?
Spleen, there's not enough beer in the world. Oh yeah, I just resaw that recently. Remember?
Yeah. The bowler was a good character. I like Janine Garofalo's character.
I liked how she
probably
kept
my
arguing.
favorite too with that one. Yes,
showing that she has like daddy issues, like living up to like whatever expectation he has.
Are
you sure the skull wasn't talking to her?
Like I like what did she do? Like after like she used the ball one time, she was like, "All right, now I'm gonna finish grad school. All right, that's the deal we made."
Yeah,
are you sure the skull is not talking to her though?
True.
That'd be something to explore to see if he actually is, or
because I could have sworn that skull was moving in that ball and directing itself.
I'd have to rewatch it to see because I definitely did it a couple times.
Oh wow, her action figure came with the bowling ball, dude.
Oh man, her action figure actually looks the best out of all of them because a lot of them look.
I don't know, man.
So far, yeah. Mr. Furious doesn't do that.
All right, now who throws? Does she throw the bowling ball better than Cap throws a shield? Oh,
yes.
You know what? It does take a lot more craft to throw a bowling ball because a bowling ball is not meant to be thrown that way. So
yes.
I like how she catches it. It's the bowling
Correct.
Ball. Yeah. So yes, she does. She uses
bowling ball's not made out of vibranium.
Yeah.
Vibranium and American steel in the comics.
Where did she say? She said, like, you put your father's skull in the bowling ball. She's like, no, the people at the shop did.
Oh yeah. Who do you think who would you cast as the bowler nowadays?
No, we can just recast Janine Garofalo.
Janine Garofalo?
I'd let her do it again. I'd be like,
I'll let her do it again.
I'd have her do it or pick someone else she wants to do it. If she doesn't want to do it, we need you to. I'll pay you to pick your replacement. Because
like I'm trying to figure who can. Like like someone like Emma Stone or something might be able to.
Oh come on, man! You break my heart, Emma Stone.
What? It's just she's got like comic or like Isla Fisher, another Wedding Crashers.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
She could.
I'd have to.
Her, I think she was one of my favorites, along with the Hank Azaria's character.
Yeah,
but it was good to see what do you call it, because I'm used to seeing William H. Macy as fucking Frank Gallagher on Shameless. So it's weird to me seeing him like clean cut like in another role.
Shall I watch Shameless?
Seasons 1 through 8. You guys
recommend the British or American one?
I've only ever seen the American version.
It's weird. I saw only saw the first episode of both the American and the British version. I mean, of course, the first episode they're exactly the same, and that's usually what happens.
And British was the first, right?
What's interesting about that was the first movie I recognized William H. Macy in. I think other than that, I remember he was in Air Force One. He played.
Was he? Who's he?
He played one of like I don't know what his position was, but I like one of the president's chief of staff, like probably. But no, as far as like somewhat lead role, this is the first movie I saw him in, and I thought he was entertaining because he was like a family man, and he comes home.
Yeah,
and his wife goes like, "Your son needs his vest back. He has hockey practice." And he goes like, "It's my vest too. I bought it."
He's got the pads on it. Yeah, he was like the normal, like you said, the family guy, like your typical everyday man.
Yeah, one that probably had everything to lose when doing this. But what's funny is like I know the movie's not meant to be known for its fight scenes, but he did have like a pretty decently choreographed fight scene at the end, like with the shovel and everything.
Agreed.
And then he used the Sphinx advice, going like, "You have more than one weapon," and then you see him take out a small shovel.
Was that? Yeah, that's right. He had a little shovel with him.
Yeah. Well, that was like pretty good. So honestly, action figure wise, that might be the most entertaining action figure.
Because he comes with a shovel.
Yeah. Does he come with the small shovel too? He has to.
No, it's just the one.
No. How dare they?
Oh, here's the set. They've got like the spleen. Where is it? Clearly high quality picture right here, guys. Wow, we can get all 4 for $125. It's no longer available. Never mind.
Let me see the Spleen's action figure.
Okay. Be specific, because I don't want to type in the spleen figure and some gross ass thing comes up. That's for the after show. Here's. Come on, man. What are these small ass photos? Here, is this one? No. They don't want us to look at the spleen, man.
Hashtag spleen hate. There he is.
Yo, he's even got the, what is that, the zits on his face?
Yeah. Pock marks.
He looks like a nerdy wrestling fan cosplaying as Randy Savage. Like, look at his outfit.
Are you speaking from experience?
Oh. That concludes our podcast today, guys. Thanks for joining.
Yo, that's a very, very good. I can't unsee that. I can't unsee that.
And that's why I'm not on camera right now. No. You know what I noticed on all these figures? I think each of them has like a necklace with their letter on it. Because like he had that, and then did the Raj have his? No, never mind. I guess not all of them have it. But look,
because he had the pendant.
Yeah, it comes with the little utensils in his pouch. It looks nothing.
They were crap going like, you could probably do more if you like threw knives, and he goes like, "I'm the Blue Raja. I'm not knife boy. I'm not stab man. I'm the Blue Raja." They also made a commentary on how for someone who's called the Blue Raja, you don't like have any blue on you at all.
Oh yeah, he's like, you're wearing green. It's got some floral thing on there too. Do you know who he looks like in this figure? Who was the guy that played Snape in Harry Potter?
Oh, Alan Rickman.
Yeah, rest in peace. He looks like Alan Rickman. And then Ben Stiller looks like
Ben Stiller looks like Joey Fatone in that. But look at
the flames, man.
I like how the waitress, she asks, "So what's your name?" And he goes, "My name, it's Phoenix Dark." That was also the first Ben Stiller movie I saw as well, because I think There's Something About Mary came out at the same time, but I didn't have any interest watching that movie.
Oh wow, you're making me think about it now. I think that was the first time I saw him was in There's Something About Mary.
Yeah, I think that most people that's what they talk like. Most people, it's like There's Something About Mary, because I know you had stuff before that, like the Ben Stiller show and all that, but no, as far as like first like feature length movie where he's the lead, yeah, a lot of people talk about There's Something About Mary.
Where'd you see him at, Rosa? Still on there? Yeah, check this out. The cool thing about
I'm here. I had an accident with some hot chocolate, so
God damn it.
You're right.
The cool thing about this thing, I think you can see it still has like the Rayovac, like the sponsors on there.
Gosh.
Whereas like nowadays they'd like, they'd have to like cut corners, like, oh, we can't put the advertisement on there.
Right? Yeah. Maybe that would be the hardest thing to do if they do a remake, getting sponsors.
Here's a good picture. I think William H. Macy looks the most accurate than Janine.
Yeah.
And then angry Alec Baldwin. And then
more like Stephen Baldwin. That's interesting then. So I guess so they didn't make figures out of the Spanx, which that's unfortunate.
Oh yeah, because he was like, so when they teamed up with him like midway, like when they were about to get shot.
And also nothing for a poor invisible boy.
No, Jesus, I did see on eBay somebody made a custom one. It's just an empty box.
Oh.
I don't think I can find that anymore.
That's funny. That was interesting for me because I was a huge fan of Keaton and Cal. So I'm like, oh, Cal's in a movie and it's not Good Burger. Okay.
So yeah, so that was a funny one. He's like, I can go invisible when nobody's looking at me.
I love that power, though. I mean, to be for real, come on, how's that not funny?
Also, I felt like there was a little bit of like symbolism to that, or that was supposed to represent something. Because remember when they come to his house and he tells, "Hey, Dad, I'm going up to my room with some very weird people," and then
he doesn't
no
react,
acknowledgement at all. So it's
He said 3 strange grown men. That's what he said.
3 strange women. That's what he said. But the dad didn't flinch, and it was like so. It's like it's supposed to represent people feeling neglect in their lives, yet they wanna matter.
I guess if they were to make it now, he could still play the role.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember like the last time I saw Kel Mitchell. I think it was in like a Pepsi commercial or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's that image from the graphic novel where it's like a carrot or something.
What is this? Is this the actual graphic novel?
Yeah.
What? What's the carrot?
One of us has to read that.
Yeah, I kind of want. I mean, that's supposed to be the equivalent of Captain Amazing, but
really? Yeah, let's see this thing. Flaming Carrot, the Shoveler, Jackpot, Screwball. So wait, they don't have the Raja here, do they?
Like they probably made up a lot of characters.
Yeah, but the Whisperer. Oh wow! So they're actually. It says when danger threatens the entire world, the team of heroes need to save us all. You'd call for the Avengers, Justice League, X-Men, but not the Mystery Men. Frankly, you just call anybody before you called them.
So I wonder if they ever read Mystery Man, maybe they'll try to be more accurate to the graphic novel.
Well, it would only work if Zack Snyder directed this. So.
They might.
I think if we were to choose, James Gunn would almost be the best choice. I mean, he seems to have a record of creating a ragtag group of.
I don't know about all that. Guardians sucked. No, I'm kidding.
Uh-oh.
No, I love Guardians. I was just messing with him. If he can turn around Suicide Squad and make it great, then yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
He's going to do magic. I guarantee you this will be good. This will be fun. People will talk about this. You'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. It will not be an unforgettable movie. I want to see the extended or director's cut of Suicide Squad. See if it's redeemable.
That's what I hear. Yeah, I'd be down to.
Which one? The original one?
Yeah, they're supposed to be extended cut. People are now saying there's an David Ayer cut.
Oh God.
Yeah, which I can understand. Like
yeah, I guess only just the ones that because I mean, I heard he severely cut all of Jared Leto's role, his whole role out of the movie. So I'd be curious for that part. But.
Sure. Or I'm more curious because I think he had a darker version, and that's the point of that's why I thought Suicide was supposed to be. It's supposed to be super dark. You're not supposed to be in the end of the movie. Oh, they're your typical superheroes just like us, even though they've made some mistakes.
Correct.
You think you're supposed to be like, oh, these are still some pretty
no, it's dark,
terrible people.
Yeah.
So, because I think you're right. Because I remember when the first leak dropped, like it was a more serious tone, and then they changed it to like a Guardians trailer, like where it's comical, like towards like their release date.
Yeah, and then they had the soundtrack. Oh, hey, you like these rock songs? Yeah,
let's do this then.
Yeah, so I feel like Mystery Men, though, it's not like you're going to create a ragtag group of people that are like shitty people. You're creating a ragtag group of people that are really pathetic. And in the end, they're still pathetic, but there's still worth to them. And when they try
pathetic together,
they could save the world.
I was just looking through like the other characters, like they didn't use like the Metro Marauder.
Right, because the name alone, having to say that.
Look, so somebody was going over these characters. He goes, I know virtually nothing about this guy at the time. There's the Hummer.
Did you guys hear, like, I think it's more like a fan theory or rumor. I don't think it's true at all. So the original director of Mystery Men, what was the name?
Steven Spielberg.
No, it was definitely someone who didn't make a lot of movies. Like, if you find out, it was just someone that directed commercials before that, and I think after that movie, he went back to directing commercials because it was just a lot for me to scroll up. I think he passed.
Let's see, sorry. Where was it
at? Little bit higher.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, director.
Kinka Usher.
So, yeah, like not a really huge.
Look at that list of work. It's just 3 movies.
I don't think it's because he wasn't getting it. I think he got like tired. Like, now I'm going back to directing commercials because this is Volvo and all that. But there was this fan theory.
There's more to lose with the movie.
Yeah, there is. But there's this fan theory that people be saying, oh, actually Tim Burton directed the movie, but didn't want to put his name on it.
Really?
I'm not saying it's true, but if it were true, you can sort of see it. Like, the atmosphere of Champion City was very much like Gotham.
And from Batman Returns.
Yeah, I think they even said they used some of the same sets as Batman Forever.
Wow.
But also Tim Burton had a reputation of really having these underdog characters.
Was this his response because he didn't get to do the last 2 Batman movies?
Then maybe.
Good one.
Or he didn't get to do his Superman movie, which I don't know when that was supposed to come out.
Here it is. It's on Reddit, dude. Was allegedly directed by Tim Burton under a pseudonym. A recent episode of We Hate Movies noted Tom Waits, who has a small part in the film, said it was directed by Burton.
Tom Waits was funny in that movie. Yeah, he was the guy hitting on the elderly ladies at the.
Oh, he made the weapons for them. Yeah,
made the non-lethal weapons.
Dude, I thought that was Gary Shandling when I first saw him.
No, that is famous folk singer Tom Waits.
Damn, that's crazy that there's that theory that Tim Burton directed this.
Yeah, which it wouldn't have been
Waits for what?
But I don't want to take credit from Kinka Usher. I think what he did was an very underrated classic, and it's unfortunate.
No, it's good. The Disco Boys are my favorite.
Oh, they came through, yeah.
With Eddie Izzard,
they're my favorite. The Disco Boys,
yeah,
so good. Eddie Izzard just made that work.
Yeah,
the
Disco or Death.
What did they do? They showed up to the mansion, and then they all came out and just kicked their ass and just went back to the cafe.
So good.
But what's funny is that I know it's supposed to be funny, but those are the type of villains you would see in the old school Batman cartoon, the old school Adam West Batman show.
Yeah,
those are the.
I was watching what episode of Simpsons was it? Oh, it was the Radioactive Man, and they were like, we should bring back so and so, and they showed a flashback of Radioactive Man from like the '60s, and I think they were making fun of the Adam West Batman. He's fighting the Boy Scout leader.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was, and then it wasn't funny. Like they needed someone to convince Milhouse to come back to the set, and they brought in Mickey Rooney.
Yeah, Jiminy Jellikers, Jiminy.
I also did like the set design in that movie. Like I like that diner alone. I was like, you know how they frequent at that diner, kind of like a Seinfeld.
It was great
episode, but
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes.
You know, guys trying to be superheroes.
The diner was a
instead
really
of
good
having,
addition.
Yeah, subtle things like that maybe like movie. Or I thought it was funny how the Shoveler's house, like you look on the outside, it looks like the type of suburban houses in Edward Scissorhands. So that's another thing where I went like, I wouldn't be surprised if Tim Burton was somewhat involved in that movie.
Well, I gotta look at that again. I'm trying to remember how it looked. Shoveler.
Like you had to look from the outside, like when they were like.
Like this. Yeah, that's very.
Yeah. Or look at the background. That is very Gotham City-esque.
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, for 1999,
That
effects, the graphics, not that bad actually. Like aesthetically, that looks pretty good.
worked very well. I have to agree.
Look at all the toys outside. Oh, because that's right. That's where they had the tryouts at.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mystery Men was ahead of its time. People will have to watch that again to appreciate it. Like superhero satire, it's definitely needed now.
So, all right. So what we had originally listed was like, would you watch a sequel at this time? I think it's probably unanimous. We all would, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, all day.
Honestly, a sequel that just bring out all the cast back. Yeah, just bring.
Did you imagine they try to bring it back and it's like it becomes a box office success and Tim Burton comes out of nowhere and says, okay guys, I did the movie that was originally mine.
It was totally me. Yeah. It was, and then
that.
King Usher comes in like, get out.
It was a long con.
Yeah.
But so I wonder if they were to do a sequel, like they'll probably up the. I wouldn't mind them upping the choreography a bit, maybe. Like, I think back in the day, not just satire super movies, but like fight scenes were hard to do in like superhero movies in general. Because this is still well before X-Men.
You know what did well?
Okay.
Yeah. You know what came out around that year that did well though? I think it was that year.
What?
Blade.
Here he goes. He always goes.
Oh, that's right.
I always go back to Blade. Blade had really good choreography. Find out when that came out. It came out around the same time as X-Men, I think, or right after.
Right before.
It came out before X-Men, actually.
Well before X-Men.
Before X-Men 1.
But still a few years after that.
Like, Blade re-kicked it off with superhero movies back in the 90s, late 90s.
We gotta watch
it just
this.
Did.
I've never seen this, dude.
You never saw Blade?
I think I saw the third one because my dad was into this stuff, and he rented it from like
the third one is horrible.
from
like Hollywood Video, I think. Oh yeah, well, because the third one had Triple H, I think, and that's I was like, oh cool, there's a wrestler.
No, that wasn't even it. So the problem with the third one, the production was down, the storyline was down. It was trying to be too funny. It wasn't dark enough. Like if you watch the other two, part two may be the best because Guillermo del Toro did excellent.
Apparently, Wesley Snipes was not really.
Well, Blade Trinity.
So, yeah.
Whoa, Jessica Biel and Ryan.
Part 3, he wasn't.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, it's not good. Ryan did fine. Everybody did fine, but the movie wasn't the right tone.
I really liked. I remember liking
just,
Blade a lot. Like that was a Guillermo del Toro.
Blade 1 and 2 are. Blade 1's still my favorite. Blade 2 may be better, but Blade 1 is my favorite, I think.
I gotta find a place to watch because I know Disney Plus isn't gonna have this. Who was in Blade 2? Who's this? Vin Diesel?
Look at that.
That's Ron Perlman.
No, that's Ron Perlman.
Holy shit!
That's Guillermo del Toro's like.
That's Ron Perlman, man. He's a main character.
Michael Caine. like Michael Caine is to Christopher Nolan.
Wait, Del
Before
Toro
Hellboy.
did this?
Del Toro directed the second one, and you can really see
Look
it.
at Homeboy right there.
Which one?
Del Toro Del Toro needs to do a superhero movie. I want to thank him for Blade 2 personally. Like, yo, what you did in a before Marvel and DC really took off with Blade as a superhero movie, you didn't mess up after the first one. They passed the torch to you, and you did excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Man,
Look at the budget.
Look at this thing.
I saw Blade.
Look at the budget. Look at the budget.
Yeah.
And it made 155, but it was made with 54 million to make it, but it made 155.
Because I remember
it's still good.
Yeah,
because Albie, me and Dave were like, because we had this argument. I was like, oh no, man, X-Men started. We were like, no, Blade did. I'm like, no. Then I saw it and I was like, whoa.
Blade kicked off Marvel.
and I think even I was wrong. I think I said Spider-Man started it, but Broja's right. It was Blade that started.
Amin Ra Films. Like whoever decided to get, because remember, Stan Lee put his name on it, and it actually says Marvel in the background.
Yeah,
but it's still better than a few Marvel movies right now, in my opinion. Blade 1 and 2.
I feel like they didn't market it.
Rewatch them and compare the fighting to. They did in the background. It wasn't marketed as strong because Marvel didn't have a development house. That's when Marvel was scrambling for money. Remember, they sold X-Men to Sony. They sold Spider-Man to Sony. Fox got X-Men, and then Blade's like, Marvel's like, we need money. We're struggling, and the movies ain't working.
That's when they sold off like Spider-Man to Sony and all that. When they were still like trying.
Because Stan Lee still owns the comic, but Sony owns the movie rights. I thought.
Yeah, that's not about right.
I wish they would have casted him again for the new Blade, but I heard who's the actor that's gonna be Blade?
Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali, he's gonna do fine. It's gonna be a PG-13 Blade anyway.
Oh, is it? Did they officially?
So it won't be. Oh, it's not gonna be R. I bet money. I think they said it's not gonna be R.
Well, they kind of need to because they have the right. They have the rights to Deadpool, and they said Deadpool is going to be R. So
they should make Blade R if they really want it.
Yeah.
If they fucking Disney it up, like with the humor in this character, I'm like, that'd be terrible.
If they Disney up Blade, it has to, because the problem is Morbius isn't going to be. I don't know how they're gonna go for a whole different direction for Blade, and they have to have Morbius come out first because vampires have been established in Marvel with magic.
I saw that there was a deleted scene for the first Blade where they made reference to Morbius. Like it was like at the end, and Blade saw Morbius in the distance.
Was it this alternate ending thing?
Yeah, there. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Michael Morbius,
it, but I don't know if I
Go
can.
Ahead.
I mean, when I put it up on, I mean, can you hear it or no?
Well, they might demonetize the video. We're not even monetized yet. So
yeah, I'll turn the sound off then, just in case. But you guys can see this, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Yes, I can. Michael Morbius alternate ending. 98. Blade came out in 98. Holy shit!
I was still in first. No, I was in. Was it third grade? I think.
I was in seventh.
You were in. Never mind.
I'm old.
All right, let's just.
Yeah, he just sees him in a distance. Yeah.
Oh, and that's supposed to be Morbius?
Oh yeah, there it is.
That's Jared Leto.
Yeah. Jared Leto. So the thing is that if the Morbius movie, because it looks good, but it looks good, right? But Morbius opens the way. No, not that picture, but the Morbius trailer looks pretty good.
Here it is. Yeah, because
comes out.
Albie hates Sony University.
Look, no, it's not because of that. And I trust Broja's opinion. Like you have good taste. But my thing about that Morbius trailer, I'm not saying it looks horrible. I'm just saying it looks like typical vampire stuff. So
yes, it does.
At least right now, I don't see anything about it that has it stand out.
Special?
Other than the name Morbius itself, but that's.
There's a chance
there's nothing unique yet.
There's a chance it could tie in because I know Sony's desperate for their stuff to like synchronize with MCU.
They were so desperate they practically did a after credit scene in a trailer.
Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, it's possible you can see them interact with the Blade movie they're gonna have.
Yeah, but also with
there's no reason why Sony should do that. Should not interact with MCU. Are they crazy? They already did.
And I think a lot's going to work with the
Albie.
multiverse thing and stuff. So,
well, I'm hoping, man. I think I got my hopes up from WandaVision. I'm like, but then again, it was a TV show, so maybe they will actually go all out for the Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we got and Doctor Strange is supposed to be in the next Spider-Man movie, so I'm pretty sure they're going to bring up the multiverse, and
hopefully,
because what is it, Disney Plus, the X-Men movies are there, but it's called like Marvel Legacy or something.
Yeah.
So they might call that extended universe the Marvel Legacy universe or the Marvel Multiverse Legacy. Some jazz.
We see the return of this legend in the next movie.
Legend is kind of overstating it.
I was talking about Jamie Foxx.
You're going to see him.
Jamie Foxx and Alfred Molina confirmed that he's.
Did you see that?
He's coming back, and they said it's his.
I did not see that.
So, God, you want to let him know how he would Alfred?
So apparently, he's coming back, and
go ahead and tell me. Go ahead.
They're continuing his story right after he died in Spider-Man 2. So I wonder how we'll see how that plays out.
Here's
I guess he didn't die. He jump-started his own heart or some jazz.
Yeah. Or maybe that thing he did at the end.
He shocked himself to awake.
Maybe. Well, yeah. I mean, they'll figure something out. I mean, I think you said this poor Broja in comic books, no one ever really dies.
And it makes me sad. It makes me very sad. That's not a thing.
Where was that?
Unless it's built into don't get me started. Don't even get me started.
Wait, that was in a movie. Who said it? It's like no one ever really dies. Was it Luke Skywalker?
NERD.
No, in like a recent movie, like someone was like, no one ever really dies. It was either like
because the checks keep rolling in.
Yeah.
But I just
that's
remember
something. I mean, oh man, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna rant a second about how I just want to sit a bunch of suits that funnel money into comic movies and go, hey guys, if you haven't watched or read any comic movies or what you're producing in a long time for comic books, let me tell you something. Manga's better, and so is manhwa because of these reasons. Let me ask you a question. You talk to your 20-year-old self, and it's 30 years later, and you ask these questions. Are these characters still these characters? Your future self says yes. Your past self walks away. Why? Because you're only out for money, not good story.
True. And I think
how many people are actually buying comic books, except for those that review them on YouTube?
We don't really do that.
I mean, if you're not a YouTube channel that does comic books,
no, I've seen people do that.
Like people buy them and they give me the legacy argument sometimes. I'm like, guys, no. Some of these characters, as I keep saying, need to either pass the mantle, go to another dimension, or die. Like, just stop giving me these same characters that have no immortality or regeneration or re-aging or reincarnation built into their character. Just come on.
Do you think the MCU might be trying to do that? Like, I'm kind of like.
They're gonna bring Hulk and Tony. They're gonna bring Steve and Tony back. Tony's gonna be AI. I bet money.
So?
Steve, you watch. Remember I said that. Tony's gonna be AI, or he's gonna be a hologram. Watch.
No, I don't think so.
I mark this cast. Remember I said that he's gonna be one of those or something akin to that. Steve Rogers will come back somehow. They're gonna pull him from another time period, or he's gonna be like, it's gonna probably be a dumber reason than Tony coming back.
Okay, so I mean, the original thing was to focus on Mystery Men, but I do want to talk. Did you guys watch Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Did you see the trailer? Like, I mean, they show the house of Steve Rogers. I think he will appear in the next episode, but we'll see. I don't know.
Oh man, I hope not. I just no.
Unless they go to his house or something. I don't know. But it was a trailer I found online for the next episode.
I'll watch it.
Either way, I felt like that last episode alone almost cemented that entire series as one of the best things MCU has done.
Yeah, I just
ever done. Something ever done.
I was like, show the suit. As soon as he got as Buck brought him the box from Wakanda, I'm like, oh, that's the new Cap suit.
Yeah. I just wanted to know how it looked. I mean, obviously it's going to be the new Cap suit. I just want to see how it look, especially since it's from Wakanda. Then it's got to look really like cool. And I think it's
we can guess Wakanda mastered cool.
Yeah, but
they mastered cool, guys. The Dora Milaje fighting all of them in the hotel room. Come on, that was amazing.
That really
the best fight scene Marvel's done.
Oh, I agree, and that had to rub salt in his wound when one of the Dora Milaje kicks the shield up to her arm. Just like Cap does.
Just like Cap had done. Just like Cap did in the elevator or in Civil War. She goes, bing. And then the best part, I almost want to make a song with John Walker saying in a remix, and they're not even super soldiers. Or they weren't even super soldiers.
Then he gets desperate and takes us. Yeah. But I like what they did there. They really they definitely brought a lot of complexity to him. Like, he's not necessarily an all-out bad guy, but he's definitely on the weak side. So he makes really bad decisions. And
I mean, he's not even a bad guy, which is great. It shows it's a critique on tools of the government, getting these soldiers up and hyped, and then discarding them. Him and Elijah are two different stories. Critique on real life, but we're not even getting into that. That's kind of deep.
But I liked how they did it that way, because I think other shows would make him like the stereotypical douchebag, a bad guy from day one. But no, they
agreed.
They kind of let it develop into that, where you're not so sure about him when you first saw him, but you're willing to give him a chance, an episode or two, and then episode 4 happens, and you're like, okay, no, take the shield away. Yeah.
Why? He's killing the bad guys. No,
that's what some people are probably thinking. Like,
one, he killed like the person that didn't kill his friend. Like,
that when the parents said, "Tell me, did you kill Did you kill the people that killed him?" And he said yes, and I'm like, oh, let's go like way heavy on him, dude.
And
it shows the consequences.
Yeah.
I love the fact it shows the consequences of normal people, like their lives. Like, here's what happens during their mission. Here's what they go home to. Here's how they feel after, when nothing super is going on. That's what that boat episode is amazing. The episode with all the parts with the normal life in the community and
I love the boat scene. I think
him going to be more.
Going to Baltimore.
Oh, talking Isaiah Bradley.
All the Baltimore scenes. I love Isaiah Bradley and his nephew. Love it.
Dude, when they first showed him,
starstruck by him or nothing.
I wanted to know more about him, like when they first introduced him.
Yeah, because he was like in the Korean War and stuff, and oh wow.
Not in the comics. In the comics, he was in World War II, Tuskegee Airman style serum.
Oh, I see.
And in the comics, you can like Google it right now. The serum degraded his brain some other time. In this present time, he's like a big man child because of what it did. But he is a Storm and T'Challa's wedding. He's invited there, and they all know who he is in the comics. It's very different. Not very different, but it's not Korean War, I don't think. If I'm wrong, correct me. I think it's World War II. He actually has a shield.
Oh, that's him right
We'll
there.
see if they show that.
He's
But
at
I
the
think he
wedding.
was invited to the wedding. I told you. Yeah, they're like, is Isaiah Bradley? He said, yeah, man, he was the...
See, watching these shows make me want to be like, I should probably start reading some of these story arcs because
because all the stuff they're using some of the best story arcs, like the Civil War. I know I'm bashing comics, but Civil War was one of the best storylines ever. But what set it up is what matters. House of M before that, et cetera, et cetera. Building up to Civil War, House of M was amazing, and then building up the Civil War. The different storylines, the different ways you can read Civil War. There's the main storyline. There's what the press are talking about. And just check it out for free. Check it out. Go to Comixology or something. Wherever you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
I think, like you're saying, this past episode, that was probably like because you got to learn more about his backstory in the show, not in the comics, but in the show.
Yep.
And how they did him real dirty,
Yeah.
I watched.
Yeah, he's like, look, man.
Hard to watch both times.
Like about his wife and everything. I was like, damn.
Yeah, that conversation. Yeah. And the funny thing is that it reflects to real life in the show without having to hand you the answer. They just use the Marvel background for that. Because remember, I saved a picture on my phone. Let me see if I can find it. But it's a picture I took just to show people. Somebody posted on Instagram. I'll read it to you if I find it.
When how did you feel about Sam doing the shield practice?
Yeah, that was awesome.
It makes me appreciate how fucking good Cap really was then utilizing that shield.
Yeah, and then he finds his own way of doing it. I like how he flips.
Yeah,
kind of see him he's doing the things he does when he has wings, but since he doesn't have wings, he's trying to master it without it, and then use those movements to use the shield. And I was like, oh, that is
I don't know. Was that
and
the
it's
last?
Cool. They showed the same movement over and over again.
Yeah,
the stunt double is really good. So here's the caption from the Instagram post. Ready? The fact that Isaiah did exactly what Steve Rogers did, and he got jailed, experimented for 30 years, while Steve Rogers became a great hero, was not just unfair, but really heartbreaking. That's what the caption says.
That's right. I forgot Steve broke out his men from the camp. Damn.
Yeah, he disobeyed orders.
Yeah, and they became. You can find it.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that storyline hits all the feels, man.
Yep.
And then I thought it was interesting. He was asking, they were experimenting on me because they were wondering why it worked on me. And then when he talked about a story, how he went to the prisoner and saved, I went, my answer, I said, it's because you have the same heart as Steve Rogers. It's, not just a great soldier, but a good man.
Good man. Dr. Erskine was right.
Hey, that scene still hits the feels in the first Captain America, where he goes you're not just not a good soldier, but a good man. I'm like, oh
man, he really. And then remember, right before he dies, he taps Steve's chest. Yeah, he's like,
yeah. And then also remember when Steve Rogers, when someone killed his friend, he didn't go out and murdered the guy. He tried to just capture him
he didn't. Yeah.
And the guy had to kill himself. But
which one was it?
Correct.
Which one was that?
In the first Captain America, remember he chased the guy that killed Dr. Harris.
Oh, that's right. And then the guy started foaming at the mouth and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to kill him. So that shows the other difference between him and John Walker. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's hard because it's I know John Walker's not meant to be an empathetic character, but when his friend died, I was just like, oh, man.
Sure.
So I'm not saying he should have killed that guy. He even said it's it wasn't me, and he still smashes his shield in his face. But
that's rough. And it sucked that his friend died because his friend was kind of the moral center of that group, and he probably could have still used them.
I like the parallels, when Zemo goes to Sam, he's like, "Would you take the serum if they offered it?" And immediately said no.
Yeah.
And then John said it to his. He says it. He mentions it. And they're like, "Hell yeah, I'd take it."
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows two different perspectives because he said, remember, the serum only brings out what's truly there. Power only reveals what's already there.
Yeah.
Right.
So, Battlestar is a good character. Mars of Will is a really good character.
Yeah, I found out that was a real character, dude. After was it the first or second episode? It was like Battlestar. Sad.
What's that?
Yeah, that's his character right there.
So this is something I thought of. Maybe this will bring us back to Mystery Men. But what if they did a Mystery Men universe? Like, imagine. So we're not just talking about a sequel. We're gonna do a selection of movies, just movies, a universe filled with pathetic losers trying to become like heroes. And then, by the fourth movie, then they have to come together. All these losers have to come together and fight some sort of Thanos like character.
Oh my god. Wait. Which is exactly what happened at Mystery Man.
That's true, because he was going to do something that was going to destroy the whole city. So
I like how IMDb has the DVD menu screenshots on it.
We had some user put that on there. I have never owned that movie on DVD. I remember loving the movie so much, but I never owned it on. Well, when that first came out, DVDs weren't really a thing. It was mostly a VHS still.
Oh yeah. Look at it. It says this is the comedy of the year.
Who said that?
I think it was Weekly. I can't read it. It's all pixelated.
Yeah.
Not your classic superheroes. They're other guys. They're the other guys.
Well, and it's funny. So I liked it when I first saw it. And I remember trying to get my parents to watch it. We watch it on VHS. They weren't impressed. And
really,
yeah. In fact, my dad was probably going that's Academy Award winner Jeffrey Rush. What is he doing there? And then he was like William H. Macy, because William H. Macy was in Fargo and stuff. And so.
Were your parents' reaction is this supposed to be funny?
Yeah, they found it very silly. I don't know, maybe their impression has changed recently, but I remember first time watching it that they were not into it. I think it was a mixture of not getting the humor, and since it was very much the setting was very much a lot of other superhero movies like Batman and stuff, so they couldn't take it seriously. And here I am laughing ha ha ha, this is funny. So I must.
Yeah, I mean, as you're older, you understand it. I'm glad I didn't see it when I was younger, because I probably would have been I don't get it, But
or you could have went wow, these are. I mean, at least when I watched, I was like, these are losers, just like me.
No, don't say that.
Look at what. Middle school was an interesting time for me.
Middle school.
Hey, this might be funny. Which would you guys? Which power in this universe? Which power would you guys want here?
Already told you, Blue Raja all day.
You said Blue. Oh, and actually, Broja, I'm not surprised, because I remember we had this conversation about Avengers. You said you'd be Hawkeye. Is that right? Am I?
Yep.
So
if out of the standard Avengers that they showed in the movie, yeah.
Yeah, because we're talking about using trajectories and all that. So you'd be into knife throwing or something
all
day.
And I'd make small jokes. I would make small jokes like Clint. If I there'd be big characters like Tony, because Albert would be Tony most likely, and I would say small things like "Made you look" or "Hi, I'm Bruce," and then T'Challa would look at me and say, "I don't care. Look at my face. I don't care."
But until the world's about that, Clint, give it to me. And I was like,
he knows his name.
I think they did that because they got feedback from the audience. I think they got called out for dissing Clint, and that's why they gave him that. I think that's what happened. Real talk.
I shouldn't have called him out. I mean, if I was King of Wakanda, I don't have time to get to know everyone that comes across my path.
But he was the fifth Avenger of a 6-team thing in a battle. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I think I would be the bowler. It gives me an excuse to talk to myself. It's oh yeah, I'm talking to my bowling ball. Who would you pick?
If I was, I'd be you know, when, like I said, when I first watched it, I would feel like I'd want to be like Mr. Furious.
Oh, you'd be.
Yeah. At my old age, though, I feel like I want to be the shoveler, but I don't know if I want a family. So maybe
Wow.
I'd be the shoveler, but I live alone in like a bachelor pad. Like all I have is my shovel.
Should conventions come back, we should cosplay as Mystery Man.
Sure. Yeah. No.
That might work out, guys.
I'll be the spleen because I think I have a Randy Savage outfit. And then
I really am not going to dress like the Blue Raja, but I don't want to offend everybody. I like to throw stuff, but I still wouldn't want to offend everybody wearing that.
You know, it made me really appreciate Hank Azaria, though, man. He's pretty, he's got a fucking range.
He's versatile, yeah. I should watch some of his other stuff. I know he had a TV show.
Friends? Yeah, he was Phoebe's boyfriend for a couple of
God,
Oh, that's what I was talking. We were talking about this. Like, a lot of these people appeared on Friends. He was Rachel's boyfriend. He was Phoebe's, and then I think William H. Macy was on an episode.
Did he? I'll tell you who probably didn't, and sadly, Wes Studi. You know what? That kind of wish they had a scene where Wes Studi didn't wear that mask, because let's face it, Wes Studi was always like, he was typecast into Native American roles, so it's like
like this one too.
Well, yeah, but it's not like Mystery Man addressed that he was supposed to be Native American, so I felt like that part. So I like that, Wes Studi was just playing a role. It didn't have to make reference to like
his background.
His background. Now, if we were to if they were to do a sequel, I'd be okay if they do make reference to it, but like bring him more front and center in that. Don't make him like a Native American sidekick. Do more with him and stuff.
Right. I'm trying to look at what other movies he's done.
Well, yeah, he was the antagonist in The Last of the Mohicans.
He was in Avatar.
Yes, that was one of his best roles. Magua.
Oh yeah,
Magua,
he was.
That was so dope.
Really?
He was in Street Fighter as Sagat. Look it up. It was him.
He was. Was he? He was the dude with the eye patch. One of you guys who played Street Fighter.
I just said it. Sagat. He played. I told you. He played Sagat.
He played Sagat. Sorry.
Yeah.
What is it? Sagat.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
You'll see him.
He was in that. Yeah, this movie got a lot of Oscar nominations. Yeah.
Well, what's funny about that movie is that he played Sagat, but he didn't do any of the, they didn't have the special effects for him to. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Sagat's one that can stretch, right? Like, Sagat can stretch. Was that right?
Nope, that's Dalsim.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, he's the Muay Thai, the king of Muay Thai.
Wait, what was Sagat's character in Street Fighter? Oh, he was this.
The king of Muay Thai. Yeah, he's dope. Street Fighter should never been made. That's my argument. It should have never come out, like, ever.
Is this the movie right here?
Yeah, it is. Hot garbage. I'm sorry, that was Raul Julia's. Yeah.
No. What's funny?
I'm so sad that was Raul Julia's last movie.
The guy who played
Bison.
Bison, yeah.
And he really put in his all for that performance too.
Dude, look at this star.
He had the best lines. Like
he did.
Him and it's just that it was just he did.
We should
well,
do that. Let's do on next week's podcast, guys. We're gonna do Street Fighter.
I don't have so much to say.
I don't know if I want to rewatch that.
Dude, this guy was in Ninja Turtles, wasn't he? He was in Secret of the Ooze.
Was he? I don't think that's Kino. No,
it's not
Kino.
Oh, okay. No. Was this the guy in the first Terminator?
Yeah. Look, all I know is that's Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's Kylie Minogue.
Oh,
he was high as hell on cocaine that entire movie, probably.
That's not. I don't know. But what's funny is that was like the last scene in that movie where like the headquarters explodes and then they all just do a group pose together and they do a freeze frame, and that's how the movie ended.
So cheesy. Oh, so cheesy.
Yeah,
The movie had some funny one-liners, but it was hot garbage.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Get this.
It's so bad. Like, I was like, why did this come out? Like,
Look at this
who put
headline.
up the money for this?
Look at this headline. Van Damme was coked
It
out of
just
his
didn't
mind.
make it. He was. Van Damme was just high the whole time. Let's make some money. I do coke, and he started dating Cammy, the chick to play Cammy on scene. Ask him about it.
Oh, look at his
He
stunt
was
double.
coked out, bro. He didn't. It didn't matter what was. Yeah.
What
It
was
didn't
weird
matter
though
what
is
he was
that
doing in
I
that
think I
film,
took that
he was
movie
on coke.
seriously when I watched it, and I was in elementary school when that came out. And I took the movie seriously.
Oh, dude,
You did?
when this thing came out on VH, like we used to go to Dollar Video. When as soon as I saw this on there, I'm like, Dad, we got to rent this. Because I was thinking, like, oh, this is the most awesome thing. It's a video game movie.
Yeah.
Because this was like right before Mortal Kombat came out.
Mortal Kombat was actually great for its time. This was hot garbage. Like I said, hot garbage.
Yeah.
It smelled like hot garbage.
What? Come on, man. Look at that graphic. Look at this artwork.
Gosh, it doesn't even make sense. I think your mic's mute, Broja.
Is it? Oh, his? Okay.
Oh, I was talking. It was muted. Ken and Ryu were armed smugglers. I was like, okay, but
Yeah.
you can't see me, movie. I can't see this movie.
I mean, I guess just because it makes money doesn't mean it was good.
Correct. Just because something makes money doesn't mean it's quality. That's a fact. Whatever it is. Just because it sells doesn't necessarily mean it's quality work by all definition. By artistic definition. If it's like this.
Look at this. You guys mind if we read?
Yeah, Transformers made money. Was it actually a good movie?
No.
Oh,
look at this. Look at this headline. Leonard Maltin gave this film his lowest rating, writing that even Van Damme fans couldn't even rationalize this bomb.
They couldn't.
Wow. In 2009, Time listed this film as their top 10 worst video game movies.
It is. It's probably Double Dragon's worse. I won't even watch Double Dragon. I watched this.
I think I remember seeing Double Dragon because we rented it from that same video store.
Don't. You can watch it if you want. This is your own peril.
Dude.
I'm pointing.
My exposure to Double Dragon was the animated series that came out.
Oh, that's right.
Don't get me to start singing the song.
Dude,
that was bad too. The only good thing about it was bad.
It had heralded actor Scott Wolf. That was pretty
it's one of my favorite actors right there is Mark Dacascos.
Who's that?
The red guy?
Yeah.
Mark Dacascos was in Only the Strong. He was in Cradle of the Grave as the main villain. He's a guy from he's the Iron Chef host.
Is that Alyssa Milano?
Is Cradle to Grave good, Broja? Is that what you
I
said?
would say it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. It's
I think
fun.
the best of that era was Romeo Must Die. I have to rewatch Exit Wounds. I remember watching it once. Like, okay, like I did watch because like DMX, because I like DMX in his small performance in Romeo Must Die. So
all right,
why not?
But
dude, I didn't realize that Norton was in Double Dragon.
Double Dragon's so bad. I may watch it just to see how bad it is, but it just I don't know what. Yes, I do. We want money. Let's make a move off Double Dragon because it'll make money. I think it's going to be worse than Street Fighter. It looks worse.
You know what we should do for next week's podcast?
Watch that movie.
Yeah, no, and we'll kind of end it at this. We should come up with our list of our 5 worst movies. Do you want to make a theme like video game or video game based or comic book, or how do you want to do it?
However, if you want to see my reactions, I'm just going to do a lot of this.
Maybe like worst geek movies. So
yeah.
Worst pop culture remakes, I guess.
And then I can disagree with everything on Albie's list. And then what are you talking about? Incredible Hulk was a great.
I mean,
but say I wouldn't put it.
I will go on record in saying that Sonic was good. I said Sonic was going to be a dumpster fire. It wasn't. I took forever to watch it. I said I wasn't, and then I watched it for free. I said I wasn't going to go to the theater to watch it, And I was wrong. It's actually fun. Meow.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters because it was like there was. I wanted to help. I wanted to help the movie to make money because it was an example of fan demands mattering. You know.
Oh, that's right. Because of this original concept.
Yeah.
And
when they changed
the
original concept was
movie.
bad.
They delayed the movie. Like
the original concept was bad.
So, man, when you saw this in theaters, this is probably like the last movie you saw before
it was.
the pandemic started, huh?
Sonic was the last movie I saw in theaters.
Wow.
And what's sad is I saw it by myself.
Dude, the last movie I saw was Impractical Jokers before everything. But I haven't seen this yet. But yeah, I mean,
watch it. It's fun.
It's on Hulu, I think. I think it's good. I'm not saying it's masterful because you kind of know what's going to happen at the end. It definitely takes a typical formula for a movie like this, but it's still very entertaining and well done for the most part.
You know, it was an entertaining movie.
Okay,
Jim Carrey knocked it out of the park as a villain.
Yeah,
Jim Carrey was the best part of the movie.
My comparison to Sonic the Hedgehog and
Jim Carrey, then the tech he used.
Yeah, agree. And yeah, Jim Carrey was fantastic. My beef with Detective Pikachu.
The tech was actually believable.
What's your beef with?
What?
Like Jim Carrey's tech was believable as a Dr. Robotnik.
It was believable, but futuristic at the same time, and you rarely see that.
Yeah. But yeah, so he did really good. But so Detective Pikachu, the reason why I'm saying that's not necessarily a great video game based movie is because there were probably scenes that I liked, but the movie as a whole was kind of like, man, I do remember watching that in theaters, and I was more like, there were scenes where I'm like, all right, move it along. We're spending.
I hope you put this on your list next week so I can.
I'm not going to put it on my list. I'm not saying it's the worst thing I've seen. I'm just.
Digimon the movie was pretty.
I didn't watch it because I don't want to see it. That's all. I knew it was going to be okay, but I said I don't care enough to watch it. Ryan Reynolds, Pikachu, great. The movie's probably good, cool. I don't.
You never saw it in theaters?
I'm not going to. I didn't want to see. I don't want to see it now.
Whoa.
I mean, it's probably good. Like I said, okay, look, live action Pokemon, Ryan Reynolds, and mystery, and we learned a lesson about friendship, and we're together as a team. You don't trust me, and then you end up trusting me. Whatever. I just guess
there are scenes that are good, but I'm saying it's the movie as a whole, it was probably mediocre at best.
It won 2 Oscars.
Did I get was I 60% accurate just now with the movie, or 40% accurate? How accurate was I?
Oh, you were. I mean, it was practically spot on.
Oh man, look at this one. I don't mean to keep. I don't mean to keep dragging this podcast on, but yeah, look at that one. This will give us ideas for next week. Let's see, Screen Rant's 15 worst. I didn't mind this because the only thing I didn't understand were
Mario Brothers. Oof.
Was it the Goombas that were like what are they called? The ones where their heads were like small.
The
Goombas.
Whoa, Afterlife was
the best part of.
So I'm
the best part about that movie.
Okay.
Oh wait, yeah, I forgot they made so many Resident Evils. I'm like, why?
Okay, sorry. Oof, that's a big one to debate. Resident Evil got better, I think, as it went on.
Did it? I never saw it.
Did?
Okay, so this is where we differed, Roja. Yeah, I personally liked it. Like as it progressed.
I saw the first 3, I think.
Wait a minute.
I didn't watch the rest, but Max Payne.
God.
So the problem with Max Payne, it was under whoever. I beat the game, by the way. I took a long time to beat it, but I beat it. I still remember it for the first game.
The problem looks like
the first game was good. If you wanted
it's Mark Wahlberg. Hey guys,
Max Payne needs to be redone. Yeah, it needs to be redone. It needs to be redone, and it needs to be either CG with a good voice actor. I don't think it should be live action. Ray Liotta is the voice actor. Guys, are you telling me I'm Max Payne? Hitman. I could talk about that all day.
Like the game or the movie?
The movie. So I watched both films. You have to talk about them differently.
Right.
I think that the second film had parts that were redeemable, and the American film I watched a lot. I've rewatched that trailer so many times on purpose. We're gonna ignore that. We're ignoring all of Double Dragon. I don't want to finish that film.
Wait,
I think I've seen 20 seconds.
Was Max Payne, did it have the same actor or no? The second one?
No, Hitman.
No.
Hitman.
Sorry, Hitman. Sorry.
Hitman.
Hitman
It did not.
It
It
all
did not.
Justified.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat
And the first
Annihilation.
one, yeah.
That I can put that in my.
That
worst.
was garbage. Hot madness. There was a good song in that movie, but the movie was like the only good fight scene in that film was probably Sector versus Sonya and Jax. That was well choreographed, and Scorpion versus Sub-Zero was well choreographed.
Was that in the
Everything else
lab?
was laughable.
Oh
Yeah, the lab fight scene was actually good, and Scorpion and Sub-Zero was actually good. Choreography was no for those two fight scenes I say on record were good.
But
I'm
then in
watching
the
both of
very
them
end,
right now. The movie? No.
Oh, yo, speaking of Ray Liotta, there he is right there.
you know what's funny?
There he is.
So,
Ray Liotta.
I was with a group of friends, and I was organizing to go see a movie, and I wanted to see No Country for Old Men.
Oh, great
and
film.
I convinced them we saw No Country for Old Men, but I remember there were two people in my group that didn't like No Country for Old Men at all. And one guy goes like, "Man, I wanted to see In the Name of the King."
Really?
I hope you're not friends with that guy anymore.
Wow.
I've lost
He's
contact.
listening.
Lost contact with him, but
because he obviously does not know quality for films. You can be friends with him all you want; he's your friend, but you should not go see movies with him anymore.
Oh, they complained about
No Country for Old Men.
They were like, "I don't understand it. What did that ending mean? Oh, there was no innovation to the movie." Because they wanted to see In the Name of the King. And I'm like, no.
They're the problem with American films. They're the problem with Hollywood as a whole right now.
Right.
You meant how about appreciation for the cropping to make sure they didn't show Statham's receding hairline? Like brilliant marketing.
Who made a funny? It was I think Nikki Glaser was making fun of Bruce Willis. You're like, Bruce Willis, you were so popular until Jason Statham started to become bald. Said something like that.
Let's see what the next one is. Wing Commander.
Whenever you guys gonna wrap it up, let me know.
All right, we'll wrap it up now. Well, so this gets us hyped for next week. Hold on, I got to see what number one is real quick.
I've never heard of Wing.
Wing Commander. That's a pretty good game. Or people that like it have told me it's okay. House of the Dead. Yikes!
Holy
it was not anything it was supposed to be.
What the fuck's
Nothing
Postal?
It was supposed to be. Postal was an actual game made where you just literally go postal. Go ahead and check it out.
Blood Rain, man.
Blood Rain.
Oh wow, Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li.
Hey, one of the Black Eyed Peas members is in there.
Yo, look, Chris Klein's in this. He looks like Nick Cage. Look at his hairline.
He does. He does.
And
then Street Fighter movies, just no one's made a good one. Just leave Street Fighter as animated. Just stop trying to make live action Street Fighter.
Christian Slater.
I need to play Alone in the Dark. Don't talk about Doom. Alone in the Dark is a really good game. It mixes in with their storyline and timeline and other games. I'm not going to spoil anything.
All right, so I think I have one for next week that you guys that's not on this list. You're going to be like, oh my god, that it was a horrible movie. But yeah, so you guys want to go ahead and close it out here then, and then we'll get our list next week.
Keep ranting about stuff.
To sum it up,
Mystery Men.
Mystery Men before
Mystery Men.
I would be all for a sequel, preferably, honestly, bringing all the same actors back. And yes, I'm fully aware that sequels that take decades to come usually don't work.
I'll tell it to James Cameron's Avatar.
But I think this one could probably work more than people think. Maybe because it was so underappreciated the first time around, then you got that going for you. So yeah, no, I totally would welcome a sequel. I would welcome a sequel more than a reboot. I think a sequel would be a lot more interesting.
remember this.
And hey, you know what? Smash Mouth can make another song. I'd be fine with that. They can make another song.
Me too.
Hey, now you're
They
still
should.